Hello everyone, it's Kay here and I'm here today to share a project with you, and it's something that I've been working on for several days now, and I have to say I really am very pleased with how it's come about. And it's an album folio. Now this was directly inspired by ARTYMAZE, who I will link to underneath the video. It's also her digital kit that I purchased, her most recent one, Springtime I think it's called. Oh my word. Wait one moment and see if I can find it written down anywhere. Yes, Spring. It's the latest one on ARTYMAZE's site on Etsy, which I'll also leave a link to. But primarily, I have to say, having watched the tutorial to make the folio album and then going on to do it, it is a lot of work, but my goodness, it's worth it. And the cover is made up with chipboard or any grey board that you might have, cereal boxes. I've actually used chipboard myself because I had some readily available, and it is covered in wallpaper, which makes it extraordinarily nice to hold. And the texture on it, on this one particularly, I just took a sample from a store, as you do. And this one I particularly like because it's got glitter running through it. I don't know if it's being, oh yes, just there you can see. It's very subtle, but it is so pretty, and it lent itself to this project beautifully. I've used lace throughout. I've been on the machine and done a little bit of stitching all round about. This is the new button closure, Mushroms I call them, and they are made by Gary, Little Things Silver and Glass, or Little Things Glass and Silver, and they are ready available on his shop. It's a Facebook page and I will leave a link to it. This is what they actually look like, if I can close in a little bit. And they are handmade torched glass, and this one particularly pink, purple and orange. It's got this lovely little stem here which fits in nicely to the largest hole on your crocodile, or 6mm if you use a punch, and they are all absolutely beautiful and will fit journals. Gary was inspired by Debbie Brown, who had seen it on another channel and decided she would quite like some, and asked Gary if he would mind giving it a go, and of course he jumped to, and this is the result of his practice and work, and I have to say they really are very lovely. I know he'll ship abroad if that's what you want, because you pay your postage, but it wouldn't be beyond reason. They're not heavy, even though they're glass, so don't be put off by the fact that postage has to be an extra consideration to whatever you purchase, and these are two others that he's done. But you know, it's little sparks of colour, so you can almost match it to the albums that you're working on, which is rather lovely. And they all have this length to secure in the album, and when you actually see them in the album, as you can see here, they've just gone through the front cover, and because I've got things inside, it doesn't actually show, and it is very secure. That's not going anywhere, and you see the sheen of the glass on it. This has got green and blue and a little bit of a rust colour on a white background, and it does fit in very well with the print of the digital kit. So I'll just widen out again so we can get back to this lovely, lovely folio. And if I open it up, I'm hoping I can get the whole lot into the one area. This is how it looks when it's all spread out, but for the purpose of the video I'll start it at a page at a time and go in, but not too far, I think. And everything you see here, apart from the lace and the little dangles and that kind of thing, I've not had to work too hard on actually making it look lovely, because the papers are absolutely wonderful. I've used a little bit of glitter here and there. These are tags which I actually sewed around on the machine, backed on craft card, put the eyelets into, and they just are so lovely. You know, they've got the little bit of written word on it, so you don't need to worry about stamping or finding words to suit the theme. It's all there for you. And this is the other two, and this is daisies and a lily, but you can see how absolutely fabulous the detail is. There's a lovely little girl down here which I've used quite a lot. She's on the front cover, purely and simply because my dear mum just loved Lily of the Valley, and that in part is why I chose the kit, apart from the fact that it is stunning, stunning quality. You'll see lots and lots of people have used the kit for various bits and pieces, and it's never ever been let down by anything that anyone has done, because they are just such delightful papers. You couldn't spoil them unless you decided to cover them over with a whole load of incidental stuff that they didn't really need. This is the next page, and it's double pockets, and in here is a little fold up envelope, as you can see, but I've not sealed it down. It would make a lovely little journaling spot, and it is totally discreet, as you can see. Then there's this beautiful bunny rabbit or wild rabbit with irises and that kind of thing on it, and this one will nicely store any ephemera or collectible bits from days out that you've had, or little jottings that you might want to keep safe following a lovely family day out, or a day out with somebody that, you know, has meant a great deal to you. And then in the top pocket here are some absolutely delightful postcards. Again, I've stitched around them. I've put a little bit of glitter on them, but not too much, just really to emphasize the glorious pattern rather than anything else. They've both been backed on craft card, and they just sit in this pocket, which is a very, very deep pocket in actuality, and it's all very stiff at the moment because it's not been used at all, but it fits in there, and with the little thumb pull at the top, it does allow you to access them quite freely. You just have to push them down for the moment and get them straight down, but that pocket goes right down to the bottom, and this pocket on the front with the daisy on it and the lace trim is that little bit much shorter. Then I've put lace in between just to balance everything and try and make it all look really, really lovely. And then on the next page, I think this one really should be this way, I do beg your pardon, this is the flip that goes out the way. There's another envelope here, nothing's in it, it's just tied down or anchored down with one of my little paperclip dangles and a little bead, all in keeping again with the colours that are clearly visible. More lace, it's a different kind of lace this time, it's lighter, but I didn't want to use anything too heavy that would takeaway from the wonderful digital papers. I can't tell you what, I'm hoping this video will do them justice, because they really are superb. If I pull that one out, you'll see there's another floral tribute that just takes up the whole page. There is a little bit that you could journal on there if you wanted to, but there's a lovely little pocket here, and all I've done in there is put a matching little notebook with some room for journaling in it. I mean, it really is such an ideal, if you want something that takes quite a bit of putting together but doesn't need a whole lot of extras to make it work, then this is the digital kit for you. It really is absolutely stunning. I can't recommend it or sing its praises highly enough. That then goes over, and we've got the mandatory tickets that you find in all journals and that kind of thing. Got a little bit of glue there. Here's another envelope. The detail on the bird, on the two birds there, is absolutely glorious. Again, it's an empty envelope with ample space there to store things in without it cluttering up the main pages of the folio. Excuse the I'm finding glue strands here, but I was so eager to bring it to you. There's a beautiful blue iris on the underside there. It's almost a shame to hide any of the detail really, but you have to by virtue of how it all comes together. And then you've got this glorious page here. I'll just lift it up to the camera with this fabulous spray of flowers here. Again, I've used a little bit of Stickles glitter just to highlight all the flowers. Utilised the little rabbit journal here, or rabbit ticket, with a lovely little heart, so you could just put a little bit of journaling in there if you wanted to. More of the same lace. And then we get to the central area, and again it's pockets, and there are two more glorious tags all stitched around. I've not put ribbon or anything into the holes in the tags. I just didn't feel that was strictly necessary at this point. You know, it could be ribbon, it could be twine, it could be whatever you would like to use. Two more of the very lovely postcards, and they are to size, which is quite interesting. I don't know quite how ARTYMAZE has done it. I mean, clearly I've backed them onto craft paper, but the size of them to me is just postcard size. They're absolutely stunning, and again, just backed, just reinforced and made to be another lovely feature of the album. They both fit into that back pocket quite nicely, but you know, if you decided to use them for something else, then you've still got the pockets there to utilise. Now I'll move it over just a little bit to get onto the back page here, and again I've used the glorious rabbit. Inside there are some miniature tags, a couple of miniature postcards, and a little bit of journaling paper. I didn't want to stick it into the little folder here. It's not really necessary with the paper clip there to anchor it all down, and that just keeps it all nicely together. If I bring that up to show you again, really lovely. And if I just pull that out, you'll see again that I've got the little bit of stickles on the floral tribute there, and then here is a beautiful lily. The detail is just superb. I absolutely love this, and again offset by the more delicate of the lace. It works beautifully. I don't think it would require anything more to make it a more stand out page. outstanding page, whatever. I'm tired, I am sorry. My words are failing me. And then you get to this tiny little journal here that I've just put a cover on, put some coffee stained papers inside, a little plain pocket on the front and back, and that was to stabilise the paper rather than for any other reason. More of the lace, and then inside here I've just got a tiny little butterfly in metal and a little key. But I'll bring it up for you to see. They're just tiny. That I didn't want to overburden, because as well you want the folio to come together and close tidily so that everything is kept inside. It could almost be a lap journal, whatever you wanted to use it for. Really, it's just so versatile in its makeup and how it's put together. Then there's this page, which again is a fold over page like so, although I rather think it should be that way. So you've got the birds, a plain page but a beautiful page. And then on this side I've just made some little glassine bags as per the tutorial. They're going to get creased, they're going to get mushed about within the folio, but I'm not concerned about that. I've put 3 layers staggered of the lace. I didn't want to hide the little pieces that are inside, and again it's the lovely little postcard effect, this lovely little bird here, and there are 2 of each in each, 2 little bits of ephemera in each of those 3 pockets. Again, clearly you could put what you like in them. They're there for a purpose, and they're there just for added interest. This is very interactive, and you could spend hours just going through it and turning pages really. There's a couple more bits there from the Digi Kit. I've anchored it all down with 1 layer of the finer of the lace, but it doesn't stop you then from pulling back and placing things underneath there, underneath the paper clip if you wanted to, or any other way. It's entirely up to you how you present your way of doing, really, I think. And like I said, there's the rabbit again. That page then turns over, and there's this glorious final page that I absolutely adore with the birds and the nest. I did put an extra little pocket here purely because I was able to, and again it's just got the Stickles glitter glue on it with the springtime title, and there is the final page with the little white rabbits. So I hope you've enjoyed this walkthrough. It's always difficult when you do something like this because there is so much of it out there, but I'm hoping you managed to stick with me and see it all through. And then all I've used, the elastic that I used to keep the little journal in place, just pops up over then and slots into the Mushrrom closure. I think with hindsight I probably should have used a different colour elastic, the problem being it would get churned up and mucky, so it seemed to make sense to just keep it with the black. I've just put a solitary layer of lace down through the spine with another of the little dangly bits there, and because of the glitter and so on, you really didn't need to do anything much more to it. So I hope you've enjoyed this walkthrough. I will leave links to the glass mushrooms and to Gary's store on Facebook. It's not a store, it's actually a selling page. So if anybody's looking for anything more grandiose, they're going to be disappointed. It is what it is. And I'll also leave a link to Gary's channel where he talks about how he's made them. So with that, thank you very much for your time as always. Take care everyone. Bye bye for now.